This is Dallas with Land Boss. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be taking a look at a property that we have over in Reidsville, Georgia. This is about 4.5 acres, and I just want to tell you what's great about it, why it might be a good decision for you, and also where you can get all of the information so you can make the right decision. So first, we're going to start out on our property info page. That's where we are now. If you don't have a link to this or if you haven't seen this, let me know. I'd be happy to send it over to you. So here on our property info page, I call it the River Ridge Retreat. River Ridge is the road that it's on, but it doesn't have an address assigned yet. Unrestricted, usually they assign that when you have a building permit, or you can call the county and get an address assigned that way. But it doesn't have an address assigned yet. It's just raw vacant land. If you scroll down, you can send me your information to get all the details. You can also read through a little bit of information about it. This here, we don't have the plat map loaded yet. This is actually the GIS map from the county, but you can see how the parcel lays out compared to all the parcels around it. Scrolling down further, you can go through some of the photos that we have. I actually have a lot more photos than this to really give you a good understanding of the property. So let me know if you want to link to that, but we're going to take a look at some in just a minute here. This is what I want to show you. These are the property details. This is really important because you can reference it when you're doing your due diligence. This parcel number is how you identify the property with the county. So anytime you're asking them, hey, this is my idea for this property, or this is what I'd like to know, then this is the parcel number that you want to reference so that you're all on the same page. Paved road access, we'll see on Google Maps here in a second. You have property taxes. Again, there's no zoning department for the county, so it's unrestricted land. No special restrictions or anything like that. And you do have this property serviced by electricity. We'll actually take a look at the property line that has electrical lines going through it. So if we want to go to Google and take a look at where the property is, it takes you right to the center of the lot. I'm going to go up to the road here. There we go. And again, River Ridge Road, that's why we call it the River Ridge Retreat. If you zoom out, you can get a better idea of everything that's around it. So the center of Reidsville is up here. The Altamaha River is right down here with Big Hammock Wilderness Area. That's about 7,000 acres of wilderness area that you can hunt and fish and camp at. Really great outdoor recreational options there. If you zoom out further, I think you're about an hour and a half from the coast. Here, let's check out our directions. Let's see how far you are from Savannah. Yep, about an hour and a half from Savannah. So if you work in the city and want to go travel, want to have a weekend getaway, that's a great option. If we zoom in to the location itself, we might be able to get a street view. There we go. All right, so obviously this is outdated street view. This is, I think, from 2024. But you can see the paved road. You have some access here. You have the electrical lines going through. And you can get a good idea of what it feels like to be there. And even further down the road, what your neighbors look like, or at least looked like back in 2024. All right, so that's an option. Now I want to go over and open up that folder I told you about with all the photos. All right, here we are. So this is the Google Drive folder that I would send you if you wanted to take a deeper look at the property itself. You can see we have the property outline here from the road. One of the markers that's helpful for me is where the stream going through cuts off. This is seasonal. I've never actually seen how often it's full, and the previous owners didn't either. So not 100% sure how seasonal the stream is, but I know it's not always there, or not always running. You can see the power lines here and their shadows. So that sometimes gives me a good idea of where the lot lines are when I'm there in person. Again, scrolling through gives you a good idea of how densely forested it is, and also you can get the updated street view. It's across the street there. This is the side that the property is on, right over here. So that gives you a good idea of what it feels like. There's also the FEMA flood map here, so you can see the wetlands going through it, but it's actually not in a hazardous flood zone at all. They just consider that wetlands. It's not running water, not surface water, just considered wetlands. Again, that's basically what a seasonal stream is. And the plat map or GIS map, you'd have to zoom in on it there, but this is the other one I want to show you, is the elevation. So you can see besides this slightly lower elevation here, it's a very flat property. So that's really helpful whether you want to build a cabin or park an RV or whatever it is. That makes it a lot easier that you don't have to deal with any sort of grading. So back to the property. That's really all that there is to know about it. The fact that it's unrestricted means that your plans are wide open. You can do anything from an Airbnb to foresting it to leasing it out for hunting, whatever that might look like for you. So let me know if you'd like more information. I'd be happy to provide it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.